The flickering fluorescent light hummed, casting long, unsettling shadows across the concrete floor. Mr. Bean, however, was not concerned with the ambiance. His brow furrowed in concentration, he patted his pockets for the third time, a growing sense of panic blossoming in his chest. "Teddy," he mumbled, jiggling the worn bear with an urgency usually reserved for finding a lost biscuit. "Where is it? The telly won't work without it." He was vaguely aware of a large metal contraption clamped to his head, but his focus remained singular: the missing television remote. He'd woken up in this rather damp, smelly room, disoriented and with a faint headache. But the true horror was the blank screen across from him. How was a man to enjoy his Saturday morning without catchphrase? Suddenly, a tinny, distorted voice crackled from a small, crudely mounted television set. A puppet with swirling red eyes and a bow tie appeared on the screen, its movements jerky and unnatural. "Hello, Mr. Bean," the puppet intoned, its voice a gravelly whisper that seemed to echo from the very walls. "I want to play a game." Bean tilted his head, squinting at the screen. "Game?" he muttered, a faint hope sparking in his eyes. "Is it countdown?" The puppet's painted smile didn't waver. "The device on your head, Mr. Bean, is a reverse bear trap. When the timer hits 0, it will spring open, with lethal consequences." Bean reached up, fingers fumbling with the cold metal. He tugged at it, testing its fit. "Oh," he said, nodding slowly. "Bit tight, isn't it? Makes my ears feel funny." "To remove the trap," the puppet continued, its voice growing marginally more agitated, "you must retrieve the key. The key is in the acid bath beside you." Bean looked down at the bubbling green liquid in a clear vat. He poked it tentatively with his finger. "Ooh, fizzy," he observed, withdrawing his digit just as a faint wisp of smoke rose from it. "And a bit warm." He then looked around for something to fish out the key. His eyes landed on a rusty old broom handle leaning against the wall. Perfect. He grabbed it, inserted it into the acid, and began stirring vigorously. The key, naturally, was pushed further to the bottom, swirling out of reach. On the television screen, the Jigsaw puppet's eye twitched. "The timer, Mr. Bean, has begun. You have 60 seconds to retrieve the key." Bean glanced at the digital countdown above the puppet's head. 58, 57, 56. He frowned. "That's not very long for a cuppa," he decided. He then spotted a large, dusty fire extinguisher in the corner. An idea, brilliant in its simplicity, or idiocy, struck him. He dragged the extinguisher over to the acid bath, gave it a mighty shake, and then, with a grunt of effort, aimed the nozzle directly into the green liquid, pressing the trigger. A cloud of white foam erupted, churning the acid into a violent, sputtering mess. The key, propelled by the force, shot out of the bath like a projectile. It arced through the air, ricocheted off the concrete wall with a clang, and landed with a plink, directly into Mr. Bean's left shoe. Bean looked at his foot, then back at the now overflowing, foamy acid bath. "Well," he declared, bending down to retrieve the key, "that was a bit messy." He casually inserted the key into the mechanism of the reverse bear trap. With a click and a whir, the device unlocked. Bean removed it from his head, inspecting the rather intricate mechanism. He mused. "Could probably fetch a few quid for this at the car boot sale. Or perhaps it's a new type of hat." He placed the bear trap carefully on his head, testing its balance. It looked rather fetching, he thought, in a post-apocalyptic sort of way. On the television, the Jigsaw puppet was no longer speaking. Its head had slowly drooped to one side, its red eyes staring blankly. A wisp of smoke, suspiciously like a circuit board frying, began to emanate from its base. Mr. Bean, still preoccupied with his new headwear, heard a distant clanking sound. He looked up to see a heavy metal door slowly grinding open at the far end of the room. "Freedom." "Teddy," he announced, adjusting the bear trap hat. "Let's find that remote, and maybe a packet of crisps. All this excitement has made me peckish." He shuffled out of the room, leaving behind a baffled, smoking puppet and an acid bath that smelled faintly of baking soda. Jigsaw, wherever he was observing, probably needed a very strong cup of tea, or perhaps a new career.